And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our Facebook Live. My name's Alyssa and I'm the marketing manager here at Kitomba. And today I'm so pleased to be here with Caitlyn from Caitlyn Menzel Coaching. Hey Caitlyn.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Good.
Good. It's so good to have you here today, and we're talking about a very, very important topic, and that is going to be client experience.
Yeah.
So obviously there are just so many benefits to client experience, like to kind of making your client experience amazing. You can get more referrals, reviews, client loyalty. The list is like, you could just be writing for days when it comes to benefits, really. And so we've got Caitlyn here talking today about how you can level up your client experience.
Yeah.
So she's going to be chatting away. And I'm sure I'm going to have lots and lots of questions as well. But if you guys watching have any questions for Caitlyn, please do put them in the comments below. I'm sure she's going to impart some incredible wisdom. No pressure.
No, that's good. Yeah, it's become a really hot topic, I think, especially over the past couple of years. People have had time to kind of review everything and really take a good 360-degree look at their salon. But without, I'm just going to kind of free talk here. I feel like I'm better at that. But something that's come up late, especially with my coaching clients, is pre and post appointment advice. This is something that a lot of people don't do. And I feel like, even for existing clients, but especially for new clients, it's really important to build that rapport before you actually have the client through the door. So things like within your confirmation text, or even if you want to send another text message, telling people where to park, where the toilet is when they get to the salon, if there's any special requests or do they want to style an appointment, giving them the opportunity to contact you before they actually get there, and giving them a few pointers like when should they wash their hair before an appointment, or what should they do with their skin before a skin appointment. Things like that people maybe didn't know can be really little golden tickets to making people feel really warm and I shouldn't wash my hair the morning of my bleaching appointment. Things like that, touch points that are special for you guys. So that's one thing. And I guess on post-appointment advice would be following people up with aftercare advice. Obviously you would talk about that during the appointment, but if someone's being given a lot of information, they may not retain it. So giving people lots of post-appointment advice. If someone's gone from blonde to brown, they might want to change up their product. So there may be a specific way that you need them to care for their creative color or something like that. It can be as simple as a text message or a landing page or a page on your website that you direct them to. But those sorts of little things that go the extra mile for your people. And with that is feedback, I think would be another really important thing to touch on here. If you're not getting feedback from your clients, you need to. I think the days of calling people are dead. I think people don't like to be interrupted. I think sending people a really simple text message with that, especially the younger generation, but sending people a text message, just being like, hey, how was your experience? How likely would you recommend us to a friend? Give us some comments. Keep it really simple. Don't interrupt people's time.
Yeah, I think it is really important to remember that the client experience is not just when they walk in the door and then when they leave. It's the whole thing. It's even, do you offer online booking or not? Or do they have to call you? That's all part of the experience. It's every single piece. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think evolving with how things evolve in the industry and just in life, things like online booking, things like, if bots are your thing, that's a good thing too. But moving with how people work now. Yeah. And I think probably with the shift that's happening in the industry, which is a lot of people going to work from home, a lot of people opening their own salons, a lot of people wanting to be subcontracting and things like that, we really have to create something stand out from everybody else because there's a lot more competition out there and it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, totally. That's a really, really good point. And just being so all over it just makes you feel really special. And I was thinking even how you're talking about, aftercare stuff, if you've got a video, if your product company's got a really great video for aftercare or something, or if you create one quickly, people love watching really short videos now. Kind of that's what performs online in terms of marketing and stuff. So instead of instructions, maybe you guys could put together a quick video and then email that out after 100%. A certain sequence.
Yeah, 100%. And social media obviously favors videos, which is good too. But one thing I loved about Kitomba compared to a lot of other booking systems too is the ability to take deposits is one. That secures the appointment for you guys and actually makes sure that you're not booking someone else in because you've got somebody else blocking that appointment. Like they are going to turn up. So it's better customer service across the board. It also like asserts your staff and like yourself as a tradesperson. I feel like that's like, I know that even like my favorite restaurant here, you have to pay $80 deposit per person to go there, like just to make the booking. So I'm like, why shouldn't we be doing the same thing? And the other thing I liked about it is the ability to customize the text messages, but also people can confirm yes or no. So we just used to have confirming your appointment this date, this time, reply Y or N. Please read this before you come to your booking. It was a link with access to all of our pre-appointment stuff. And I love that we were able to do that. So if you don't have software, you should.
No, definitely. Just the deposits as well, because I do think that's a big part of client experience. I know in our industry, there's a lot of concern around, that's going to put off clients. They won't make bookings with me. Any advice around trying to get out? Because I can totally understand how scary it would be. Advice around like just doing it and the best way to do that.
I think at the end of the day, and look, this is probably one of the situations where COVID has been a bit of a blessing, is people have kind of had the opportunity to be like, we need to make sure you're coming. You pay for that appointment now, but it's literally plain and simple. If they're going to pay a deposit, they're going to turn up. If they're not going to pay a deposit, they're probably not going to turn up. That's not really your clients that you want. I'd rather have a gap where I can go and do something else than I would be sitting there waiting for a client to turn up that's not going to turn up.
Yeah. I think also when it comes to, it might be quite different with the lower kind of cost services. I mean, it's not really okay across the board, but if you've got someone booked in for a $300 or $400 service and they don't turn up, that's just huge, right? And especially if you have people on a waiting list. It must feel horrendous, especially if you've got clients on a wait list dying to see you and then someone just doesn't show like that. It's just,
And this is also where probably another customer service thing or a client experience thing is give people enough time to actually cancel. So a lot of people don't do this, but we sent our texts 4 days early. The reason for that is we were closed, or we weren't in the end, but for a while we were closed Sunday, Monday. So Saturday texts went out for Tuesday clients. So everyone always had enough time to actually cancel and still leave us a respectable amount of time. Yeah. And if people hadn't kind of confirmed within 24 hours of receiving the text message, so we'd go 4 days out, 3 days out if they still hadn't confirmed, we'd then contact them again 2 days out. We'd actually usually cancel that appointment because I'm not going to sit here and hold an appointment for you, especially for nighttime or a peak time. It's just not fair.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
my staff have to pay in families and they'd rather be at home too.
Yeah, totally. Do you do a particular percentage or dollar amount? Like how do you how do you recommend to structure?
Yeah, so look, I sold my salon 3 years ago and I sold my barbershop 1 year ago. So my barbershop, we actually took full payment online. So 100% of the service was paid for up front. Not to group everyone, and no offense to men, but we found them a little bit less reliable than women. I don't know why that was. I also found we didn't really pre-book our men. We actually used to send them, and like, look, our barbershop did service men, women, children, everybody, but predominantly our clientele was men. But we did actually send them a prompting text 3 weeks after their last appointment. They'd get a text, you're due for your haircut next week, please book online now, online booking link. And we always knew when that text went out because it was 11 a.m. and by 11:30 we had like 20 new bookings.
How good. Yeah.
It was great. And then we take the full payment when they were booking online because usually they book within a couple of days anyway. So they kind of weren't paying weeks and weeks in advance. Yeah. Now with and all of our barbershop services were under $80, I think.
Yeah.
But in my salon we used to take $50 for a color. Probably this day and age I'd take $100. And if it's a haircut, I'd probably be charging full price or $50, something like that. If it's a single service, single appointment service sort of thing.
Yeah. And did you ever have any? Did you have client drop off? Did you have any problems with people complaining?
We had a couple of people. I mean, we really only took deposits for new people. Or anyone with a no-show history always had to pay a deposit, but we were pretty respectful to people. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes people do genuinely get sick. I'm still a bit of a firm believer that you kind of know the day before your appointment if you're coming down with something. Yeah. And also, if somebody is cancelling for sort of like, if they're ringing at lunchtime to cancel for 5 p.m., I'm like, no prisoners there. Like, I'll take your money because you would have known when you woke up that you were sick.
Yeah. I think it's kind of what you were saying, like you have that deposit, like cancellation policy, and it actually just empowers you to do what you need to do. And like you say, sometimes you could be like, look, this is a pretty extreme circumstance. This is a really loyal regular client and I'm gonna let her off. Versus other people where you're like, no, I'm sorry, this is actually the third time and I'm done. Like, yeah.
There's also 100% a difference between like calling someone and they're like, oh my fucking God, I forgot my appointment. I did it to my lash tech 2 weeks ago. I was like, I feel sick. And she's like, it's fine. Never missed an appointment before. She let it go because she's like, I know that was genuinely not you. And I was like, please, I need my face fixed. Like, it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, you always know the ones that are just like, oh yeah, I got called into work. It's like, well, that's a nice story. I've got to pay myself to work. So. But definitely just making your staff feel comfortable with this as well is a big one. My staff used to just be like, oh, she put the prices up, not me. So I'd have to deal with it. So
bit of escape.
But yeah, you just got to, it's just the way things are now. It's 2022. Time to move forward. Time to evolve.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, actually. It is, I think what's really nice for our industry is that a lot of other industries, particularly hospitality, they are asking, like I've been to a restaurant recently where they took my credit card details and if I hadn't shown up, they would have charged us full bang for it would have been hundreds of dollars. So, and even lower cost ones, it's kind of starting to happen too. So,
even, and I even liken this to using hospital again as an example, but you go to the restaurant, the code's on the table, they still bring your food out to you, but they're making sure you pay up front. So there's no one walking out without paying. It also doesn't congest the bar and stuff like that. Also, it's kind of nice because you can be social with people sitting at your table.
Yeah, totally.
But it's a safety net. People just have to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a sad reality.
Cool. So obviously we've spoken quite a bit about kind of, pre and post appointment. Is there anything that you recommend that people should really, really focus on when it comes to kind of the actual client visit?
Yeah, I think that probably the key thing here would be that a lot of people, I'll go back to the hospital example. I'll go back to a restaurant where the food wasn't that good if the service was phenomenal and give them another shot. And probably a lot of people are similar with their hair or beauty treatments or, whatever service you offer. They'll probably come back and give you another crack if they felt really cared about, really listened to, and like you actually gave a shit about them and they weren't just a number. I think that's probably a really important thing to notice when you're just feeling like having a flat day or you maybe don't want to give 100%, like you have to bring it. Because there's 20 other salons in your street that are going to offer it better if you don't. Mm-hmm. So one of the massive things in our salon was we didn't have color histories. People, that's nails on a chalkboard for some people. Yeah. But I expected my staff to reconsult everybody right from the start to the finish because I feel like people coming in, it's like, oh, hey, Alyssa, same as last time. Yeah, great. Let's talk shit like we're talking about what we did on the weekends and whatever. Your client will get so effing bored of you. I was the one who was like, hey, Alyssa, oh my God, I've been thinking about you this whole time. And I might not have been thinking about it the whole time, but we've got this new color or this new product or this new thing I want to try. Or I've been thinking we can make you blonde a little bit more pink today or take you brown a little bit more violet or offer a change and keep it exciting for them because your job will be more exciting. They'll be more excited and they'll kind of be more excited about coming to see you oh, what's she going to do today?
I like that.
We had people that would strongly be like, no, just the same as last time. I loved it. It's exactly what I want. I'd always push them to be like, let's put a money piece or let's change the color underneath or let's, whatever. I think people get bored. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it probably also depends kind of on the vibe and your brand, your vibe, the personality, that kind of stuff as well, and matching it. Because for me, it sounds like your clients are the people that are up for it because they know that you need to bring ideas and stuff, and they just kind of need to be up for that. And it's kind of that's perfect. That's amazing. And it's having that right energy, I suppose.
I think we often forget this, which is our people are coming to us because they have a problem. If their hair was great or their skin was great or whatever you're doing was great for them, they wouldn't be coming to you. They've got regrowth, they've got fade, they're bored of their hair, it's too long, it's too short, it's too thick, it's too frizzy, it's too whatever. If you're not consulting them enough that you get to the bottom of those problems, you're not giving your client 100%. And the other thing is, we live in a country, and I know New Zealand is quite similar, and Australia, because I'm from Australia, I know there's people from all over watching here, but we have the most extreme weather in the world, right? It goes from fucking freezing to hot. If you think your clients' bodies, hair, skin, face, everything doesn't change, or their habits don't change, or their routine doesn't change, you're crazy. I'm way more active in summer than I am in winter. I'm out and about doing everything. In winter, I'm a hermit and I barely blow dry my hair. But in the same way, I live in Queensland where it's like humid AF all the time. So when I moved here, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my hair? Like, frozen.
Yes.
You've got to like keep asking them what's going on with their hair, how's it feeling, what's it doing, are you struggling to style it, what's your nighttime routine, do you take your makeup off every night, like, oh, my hair's not sitting straight, it's a silk pillowcase, like just anything like that. What are the
really back to that client consultation and full consultation every single time.
And making sure all your staff are doing it too. If you work in a team or if you work in, whatever salon structure you've got, if people are sharing clients as well, it's really important that you all consult together.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of somebody consulting a color and then the client's color's done, they're shampooed, they're finished, whatever, back in the chair ready for a haircut. And they're like, oh, so what are we doing with the haircut today? And the client's sitting there looking like a drowned rat. You haven't even seen how they style their hair or how they wear it or what the texture's like. Like, what?
Yeah. So like really thorough, and I like that idea of like together if you do split up your services.
Yeah. We had a big salon, like we had multiple people doing multiple parts of the appointment. And, sometimes to be able to stay on time or if there was an appointment glitch or something, they might have to get handballed a bit. But if everyone's on board with what's happening, there's less people wandering around, there's less questions, there's less mistakes.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah, that is such a good point. We have actually gotten a question from Stevie, who is one of our customers from Iron and Ivy down in Queenstown. So hi, Stevie. He said, love Caitlyn's tips. Does Caitlyn have any tips on how she increases her prices internally? Does she strategically increase them throughout the year, foils, etc., one time, and then haircuts, etc., another time, or just across the board? Not worried about increasing, just wondering if she had a method that works for her.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here. So if you feel like you need to have quite a substantial price increase and you're a little bit scared of pulling the trigger, I would do it incrementally, whether you do it every month, every quarter, until you get it to where it needs to be. We used to do ours on the 1st of December every year. The reason for that was we know all of our pricing and everything changed between April and sort of July, August. So it gave us enough time to input all of that new data and increase ours based on like what the actual salon costs were. So your wages are going up, our rent always went up in August. So everything kind of went up, and then we had a couple of months gap, and then we'd be like, cool, we know what we have to charge now. That will go up. A lot of people just use CPI or they just go 5% across the board or whatever. I go a bit deeper than that, where I like to actually break down if the staff wages have gone up and stuff. I make sure that I increase enough for that, because sometimes we put our own staff's wages up as well. Or if the color, for example, has gone up, or specific service colors or service products have gone up, we always make sure that we raise them in line with what it actually costs us. We basically charge with time and with product costings. Yeah. So, and usually it was just 1st of December every year. Everyone knew about it. I actually didn't even really tell people.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
How did you communicate it? Because I've heard like 2 different ways. Is like, and I've actually seen some examples. Like I've gone into my salon or other, I've been to other ones, and they actually have like a little sign being like, "Hey, just FYI, we're upping our prices." And then other times I've heard just be like, "Don't say anything." And it's kind of true. I don't really know. I don't know that lettuces are going up. I just get to the supermarket and it's up.
Yeah, and like this is kind of my logic around it too, right? Like I paid $2.40 for petrol the other day. I nearly vomited. It was horrible.
Okay, you do not want to come to New Zealand, just FYI.
At the end of the day, I need to fuel my car. Like it's the same as like I need to have my hair done. I need to have my lashes done. Like if it goes up, it goes up. And if you really feel like you need to do that, maybe send it out in an email blast or something like that. But I just found that I didn't really need to. The only time I'd really tell people is if we had tiered pricing in our salon as well. So I was 30% higher than my staff. Then I had directors, seniors, emerging, which was our sort of third years, and then our juniors. So if someone was moving up a price tier, I would let their clients know, because I feel like that gave the clients the ability to then go, yes, I'll stay with them, or no, I'd rather move to someone else in that same price category. Mm-hmm. So that's
great opportunity for staff as well as clients, right? Which is
I think that I think that it's probably, a little bit to your topic, Stevie, but not really. If you're an owner and you're charging the same as your staff, you're crazy. You might not be the best stylist, beauty therapist, skin clinician, whatever you call yourself, but as an owner, your time is more valuable. You have other shit you need to be doing. I don't go and hire a lawyer and expect to see the director for the same price as the person who's just graduated.
True. Yeah.
Because I was the best colorist. Was I the best cutter? No. But my haircuts were still more because I am more important in my business.
You're more about, because you could be doing other things.
Yeah, other things that only owners can do. And I'd rather have a day off.
Yeah. Cool. Stevie said awesome. Thanks so much, Caitlyn, for the answer. And he 100% agrees with your comment. And then he said, we just do it. No need to mention it. Dentists, doctors, vets, etc. Never let you know, right? That's so true. And actually, a lot of the time I've become quite aware, like as I am older and grow up, that actually you don't necessarily get quotes. Like there's some pretty big things that you can do in your life that will cost quite a bit of money. And you actually have to ask for quotes. And so if that's kind of what happens in in every other industry, then just go with it, right? And if people want to ask for pricing, then you can provide pricing. I was just going to say, you'll probably know if you've got certain clients that are quite price.
Exactly what I was about to say.
And then maybe that's when you have a really lovely conversation with particular clients when they come in,
Yeah. So usually you can gauge that too. And like with pricing too, and I believe this comes back to client experience. If you're not charging old people and young people the same, or males and females the same, or whatever you identify as the same, get with the program. It is 2022. The days of charging men because they're men and women because they're women differently are dead. Like equal pricing. So we used to have in the barbershop, we had 30 minute, 40 minute, 50 minute, 60 minute haircut. Man, woman, child, pensioner, don't care. Your time is still the same. Some of my kids' cuts would take 50 minutes, whereas I could smash out some of my men's cuts in 20. Why are the kids paying you less because they're younger? I don't think that's the point.
Yeah. And then it goes back to what you were saying, which is actually like, well, what is the cost of the product? Then you need to charge that. How much are your wages? You need to charge accordingly. It's really about what it's costing your business. It's not about
absolutely. Yeah, I think that we're fooled to think that I think people think that the most expensive thing in a salon is the product. It's not, it's the labor usually. So like if you're not covering the labor, which is the thing that I come up most against with my clients when we look at their pricing, I was like, dude, you're like losing money on that because you're charging too little because it's a haircut rather than a color. Like there's a gap. We need to bridge the gap. So if you don't know how to work it out, come talk to me. I'll help you. But you actually have to sit down and nut it out.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah.
Cool. And any other key areas of client experience?
Oh, I've got another question.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So Stevie has said, question on this one, we charge ladies $103 for 60 minutes and men $58 for 45 minutes. Would you suggest then increasing the gents to match 103?
I would do a 45-minute and a 60-minute haircut, just unisex. So I would just have like, if $58 covers your 45 minutes, which I can't imagine it does if you're doing 103 for your 60 minutes. What is that? So you'd be about $75, I think, for 45 minutes. I'd probably do the 45 to like $75. But if you can fit a woman in that 45 minutes as well, I would be still just charging them 45 minutes. So in the hairdressing salon, I should add, we had a 45-minute, 60-minute, 75-minute haircut because some people like to have a full, restyle or something or other. I definitely think charging for time for haircuts is way better. Some fades will take me longer than a woman's haircut. Like they're technical.
Oh,
yeah. So, and I've crazy. Nowadays are having like full haircuts. Like we used to go in and sit in the chair and they just snip the bottoms off and that was it, right? But now kids want it braided and they want it straightened and they, whatever. I get you. 11% men and 89% ladies. Interesting point though. I will look into that.
Yeah. Do you ever recommend looking at kind of what competitors are doing around you, or do you think you should just stay in your own lane and it's like this is our business, our service, our staff, our specialties, and we're going to charge accordingly?
Yeah, I don't ever look at my competitors. I think where your focus goes, your energy flows. So I think, look, we had a salon around the corner that used to do $99 full heads of foils, and we would charge about $450, and people would come in and say that. Oh my God, they're doing $99 foils. I'm like, we fix $99 foils. I didn't say that. I probably should have. But no, I think that our salon was street front. Our rent was $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
My barbershop was 50 meters down the road and the rent was less than half of that. So we priced it based on what our costs were. Yeah. I think this is where if you can like level up in other ways, people will still pay the difference. They'll come to you. Yeah.
It's like you said before, even if it kind of the service isn't like the outcome of like their service isn't that great, but your experience and your client experience is amazing, they'll give you another go.
I agree 100%. Never worry about Sally down the road.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, it's I do this in all aspects of my life. I don't really fuss too much about what other people are doing. Obviously you can follow trends and stuff, but I think you should be pioneering your own stuff and doing what you can to kind of stand out or be your own brand or just be your own thing. Yeah.
Love it. We have touched on brand a little bit. Anything specifically there around experience and about how like to kind of emulate that and make that part of your client experience?
Yeah, I think I don't know, if anyone goes onto my coaching page, they would see that it is literally just a mix of like business, motivation, dumb shit that makes me laugh, pet friendly stuff. Like I'm a real mixed bag, but I think the biggest thing with branding is to be true to who you are. Like one of my girlfriends, Philippa, and I do a speaking gig together that travels around Queensland, and she's like, my dad told me once not to try and be funny when I talk because I'm not funny. And she's a very like warm, beautiful person. So when she speaks, she's this warm, beautiful person. Whereas when I speak, I'm loud and colorful and whatever, because that's who I am. So I think if you try and be something that you're not, you'll never get it right.
Yeah.
I think when I first bought my first business, which was in 2009, I tried to emulate this like really glamorous, luxy salon that, yes, we were luxy and whatever, but we were like fun and colorful and bright and had like fun things. Like we were, we wore more casual clothing. We didn't wear the shirts and the pencil skirts and those sorts of things. If that's you, that's fine. If that's your thing and that's your jam, that's all good. But I don't know why I was trying to be something that I was not.
Yeah, so, it must have felt a bit like there would have been points of like, oh, this feels a bit weird or is a bit off or 100%.
And I never attracted the right clients. Like those clients weren't coming to me because it just didn't fit. I was a different person to what I was actually bringing to the table. And don't get me wrong, like all of my staff were completely different people, but we all had the same vision and all had the same thing for our clients. So I think, be true to yourself and just don't do what everyone else is doing. Just try and do your own thing. If you want to have a freaking bright purple glitter wall, you go do that. Yeah.
And then find the clients that love that and want that.
Literally be yourself and people will find you. And once you find clients that are like you, that you like, ask them for referrals. Oh, I love doing your hair, Alyssa. You're amazing. I bet your friends are just like you. Can you send me some of them? I'm really trying to build my clientele.
Totally. And people find the tribe, right? That's what they say. You always find a tribe. So
yeah, 100%. But I feel like, if you get clients you like, ask them to send their friends in because you'll probably like them too. Yeah,
definitely. And we've only got a couple of minutes left. So any other final words of wisdom, any things you want to impart?
Stay consistent. Make sure your staff stay consistent. And I would say get on top of feedback before it gets on top of you. So like make sure that you're reaching out to your clients within, 48 hours of their appointment. Hey, how was your appointment? Just want to check you're going okay, especially if they've had a big change or something, but it should be for pretty much most clients before they have time to like call in or give that dreaded 1-star review. Like get on top of it.
Yeah. And you can automate that too. So
100%.
It doesn't even have to be admin. You can literally automate that and then, now we've got to deal with this. So.
Yeah. And like we just used to make sure we would check the messages for people who sent back personal messages. It's like, yes. And someone's written a novel. You're like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah. Cool. Amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much, Caitlyn. I always have such a laugh with you. It's always so good. So thank you so much.
No
And
worries.
thank you to everyone for watching and for your questions, Stevie. Really loved chatting with you today. I felt like we had a good
I
little
liked
thing.
it. I enjoyed it.
Cool. And we'll see you all on our next Facebook Live. See you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.